All right, members, if I could just have your attention, please. Firstly, councillors and visitors are requested to put their mobile phones on silent. Councillors and council officers are reminded to disclose any declarations of financial interests and interests affecting impartiality. Audio recording of the council meeting proceedings is prohibited unless prior approval has been granted, and officers will be live streaming to the CRC website as per the local government regulations. All councillors are requested to activate their microphones when addressing the meeting to assist with the recording. On behalf of councillors, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, of which this meeting is taking place, and show our respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I would like to declare this meeting open at 6 p.m. Apologies and leave of absence, I have nil. Disclosures of interest, I have one from the CEO, Chris Adams. He has a financial interest in item 10.1, the contract of employment. Are there any other disclosures of interest? Okay, there being none, we'll move on. Public statement and question time, there is nil. Announcements by the chair without discussion, there is nil. Petitions, there is nil. Confirmation of minutes, that council confirms and the chair signs the minutes of the ordinary meeting of council held 21st of August 2025 as a true and correct record of proceedings. Do I have a mover of a motion for that motion? Councillor Hutton moving, Councillor Perkov seconding. Anyone opposed? All those in favour, raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. I had no business arising from those minutes. Did anybody have any business arising? No? Okay, thank you. The administration reports can be moved en bloc. Are there any ones that people would like to pull out? Councillor Chester.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Presiding Member. 9.1 and 9.10. Thank you.
9.1 and 9.10. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do 9.1 first, and then when we get to 9.10, we'll have to get the CEO to leave the room because he has obviously an interest in that particular item since it's been pulled out. So, any other items that people would like to pull out?
You can just pull out the late item, 9.11.
9.11, Councillor Hutton. Anything else? No? Okay, we will move on to 9.1, the business report period ending 30th of September 2025. Do I have a mover of a motion? Councillor Chester, are you moving the officer's recommendation? Do I have a seconder? Councillor Hutton?
I'm happy to move it, yeah.
Okay, anyone opposed? Questions? Councillor Chester?
Yes, I do have a couple, thank you. I'm looking at page 7 of the report and noticing that the retaining wall crew availability, I would suspect that they're controlling the market at the moment. So the question relates to the pricing, and I'm just wondering whether the prices have gone up and by how much. Thank you.
Through the chair, yes, as has been widely reported, there's a shortage of bricklayers and block layers throughout West Australia. The prices have gone up, so we accepted a price increase of CPI back earlier this year. The third-year rates have been up for negotiation, where the wall rates they were seeking 30 to 40% increase in pricing. We signed off today on the schedule of rates for the third-year contract for our civil works contractors. It's about a 12% increase in pricing across the board for civil works, which works out to about $10,000 to $12,000 extra cost per block that we are creating compared to 12 months ago. So walls are it is creating additional cost to us, but that additional cost is more than being mitigated by price rises.
Yes, I understand that. So the cost of labour has obviously gone up. What about materials? 12 months ago, we were short of the building material, but that's not the case anymore.
Through the chair, building materials aren't the issue anymore. It's far less of a problem. It is simply labour availability, particularly bricklayers, block layers and plasterers.
And a further question through the chair. I noticed that there's still that 3 to 4 month delay from Synergy. This looks exactly like last month. I'm looking at page 10. Nothing seems to have changed with that delay, and the impact on builders, of course, having to supply generators. Any future amelioration of that situation that you know of?
Through the Chair, Western Power is trialling some different processes. So we are seeing some stages being fast-tracked very quickly. So, for example, stage 33 down in Catalina Beach has been energised already. So that one there, there's no house, I think there's maybe one house started and it's already fully energised. I'm pleased to say stages 42 and 43 are fully energised now. They were energised on the 9th of September. So there is some movement, but it is a bit haphazard. Some are very quick and some are very slow. And it is an issue that the development industry is taking up with relevant politicians.
I noticed when we were having dinner, your presentation, you mentioned the Department of Education, and I noticed that the council sent off a letter 6 weeks ago. You still haven't got a reply from them. It seems to me to be fairly ordinary business practice from them.
Through the Chair, that's correct. No response.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any further questions, Councillor Berry?
Thank you. Through the Chair, can I just ask a couple of questions about the generators, if I may? Are all buyers made aware of the delays when they settle, that there could be a delay to them having power to be able to progress their builds?
Through the Chair, we do provide updates to the buyers periodically through our sales agent when new advice is received. So, yes.
Thank you.
Any further questions, Councillor Hutton?
Yeah, just seeing a comment from the CEO, if possible. Obviously, there's a lot of talk from a state government level about local governments needing to do more to get more land available for sale to free up stock and supply. What is the, I guess, the one thing that's holding us back the most in terms of getting these blocks getting these blocks available?
At the moment, from a state perspective, it would be Western Power approvals, and Western Power energisation is the slowest process in terms of something that the state directly controls. Other processes, things like subdivision approval and the like, are taking 3 to 4 months, which is longer than ideal, but it's still, there is a finite timeline. But Western Power would be the most significant thing the state government could do. But from a whole of project perspective, the development industry is stretched, and where it used to take us 5 to 6 months to develop a stage, it's now taking 8, 9 months to do the same amount of work, because to coordinate contractors has become more and more challenging.
And so if I just follow up on that, you mentioned obviously the delay to get subdivisions. Does the application to Western Power to connect the houses only get lodged once the subdivisions have been approved, so therefore those timelines are adding on to each other? Or would it be the case that if the subdivisions happen faster, we would still be waiting for Western Power anyway?
We contact Western Power at several stages throughout the process, right from the design phase through to the start of the project, where they provide us with a quote, an estimate of their fees. We then, at the end of the project, they have to do inspections. There's an acquittal process where they send us a revised fee. Sometimes those revised fees are taking 3, 4 months, 5 months to get a revised feedback. Then once we've paid that, we then have to get on an energisation list. The energisation list can be 4 or 5 months before you're on it. So it does seem like they're chasing their tail from our side of the table. They put a lot of effort into the approvals phase up front because there was a massive backlog there. But then that pushed the problem further down, kicked the can further down the road, where approvals were good, but then the back end of the process was very slow. So Western Power is acutely aware of it, but they're like everybody, they're losing staff hand over fist because they don't pay the rates that the private sector's paying.
And sorry, just a final question on that. With the delay in connection, is that also affecting street lights?
Through the chair, yes.
Is affecting? Is there any I don't know, do we have any safety concerns with people moving in without the streetlights in terms of, you know, traffic safety or even just walking about like?
While it's ideal that you have streetlights, it's not mandatory.
Any further questions on 9.1? If not, I'll put that. All those in favour, raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. Now we're going to move to 9.10, so I'll ask the CEO to leave the room. Thank you. And block your ears. Okay. Now, do I have a mover of a recommendation? Councillor Chester, you moving the office recommendation?
Yes, happy to
And
move.
Councillor Doshi, seconding. Anyone opposed? No, no one's opposed. Questions? Councillor Chester?
Yes, I'm looking at page 43. The preliminary discussions that are mentioned in recommendation 5, they haven't occurred yet, I presume, between you and the CEO.
No, they're going to occur when the new council is onboarded.
In consideration of the fact that there's less than 2 years to go before the whole process winds down, has the CEO given you any indication of whether he intends to stay for that short period?
Yes, he's not going anywhere.
All right, I guess that's what I was really wanting to know. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Doshi?
Thank you, through you, Chair. I was only just going to comment on the fact that the adjustment of 2% is really modest in comparison to the 4% that SAT recommends, and taking the extra leave based on the fact that things are slower at the moment is a good indication that he's hopefully sticking around. But also just to recognise the fact that he does show strong performance and leadership skills, and hopefully that will reflect on his decision to remain with us for the remaining term. That's all. Thanks.
No, thank you for that. And yes, obviously he's doing an outstanding job, which came back through all of the feedback, and him and I both have regular discussions and talk through, not just the project, but also where he's going to be at, and also not just him, but there's also the other staff in the office, Simon, Vicky, and Sonia as well. So we've had discussions about all of that to make sure that we're managing that, and everyone's getting, I suppose, treated appropriately through the process, leading to the closure of CRC. Councillor Hutton.
Yeah, sorry, just a brief comment on it. Echo the comments that have already been made. I think retaining the CEO is obviously a priority for this organisation, given the excellent work he does. I know, obviously, in lieu of a more substantial increase, he's effectively electing for, or through this proposal, additional annual leave. I do think that's a win-win, because the CEO is obviously more inclined to stay, but also he's going to be more, I guess, rested, and therefore being able to focus on the role and the job. So, and it's an additional incentive. So, yeah, I think keeping the CEO is the priority, and I think this is the right balance. It achieves that. And it also, in effect, does make a cost saving as we are moving into a slow period. So I'm strongly in support of this.
Deputy Mayor McDowell?
Thank you, Chair. Just to clarify, with the combined 2% salary super increase plus the 1 week additional annual leave, which would be equivalent to 1.92% increase, it's a total increase of 3.92%, closer to the 4%. So I think that's very fair and reasonable, and very happy to support this.
Any further questions? If there are no further questions, I'll put that item. All those in favour, raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. If someone could just go and get the CEO to come back in, please. Thank you, Councillor Doshi.
Begging your pardon, Mr. Presiding Member.
Yes.
I meant to call out 10.4 policy review, if you don't mind, as well.
10.4, no problem at all. We've got a long way to go to that one. Welcome back. We missed you.
Thanks, mate. Do I get my dicum on that?
I was able to answer all the questions, which is good. Now, okay, moving on to 9.11. Do I have a mover of a recommendation? Councillor Cutler moving. Do I have a seconder? Seconder, Councillor Hutton. Is anyone opposed? Any questions? Councillor Chester, you had questions?
Sorry, it was actually myself.
Oh, sorry, Councillor Hutton.
Yeah, that's all good. Just want to make a general comment. Obviously, I do think this model works well. It's an efficient use of time. I do note I guess the importance of these pre-strategy sessions, where obviously we do go into a lot of detail. I think it is very good. I do, however, note obviously there's a stressing in the agenda item about the time saving at council meetings itself. I just wanted to put on the record my general perspective that I don't necessarily think a quick meeting is always a good meeting. And yes, we are covering a lot of information in the kind of the pre-sessions. I do think it's important where possible that if there is a point where there is a interest from external bodies, external residents and the like who are coming to these meetings, that we make sure we are providing all the piece of information. I know that's mostly covered in the agenda pack, but I would just like to make us aware if there is an emerging issue, I do think it would be appropriate for some presentations to actually take place at this meeting where appropriate, just to make sure the community stays informed. But yeah, overall, as someone who's been involved, I think it's a good balance. It achieves the right outcome. But I am just conscious of the external perception that our meetings are very short. And I think we just have to be conscious of that.
Yep. Any further questions on 9.11? No, if not, I will put that item. All those in favour, raise your hand, and that is unanimous. Thank you very much. The rest of the items are being moved on block. Do I have a mover to move those on block?
Does that facilitate my calling out
sorry?
10.4?
Well, you said 10 point. We're doing 9 at the moment. You said, did you say 10.4?
Yes, I'm saying, did you acknowledge that I called that 10.4?
Yes, I did. Yes. I'm going to call that 10.4. That's fine. And so, Councillor Lagans to move on block. Councillor Cutler seconding. Anyone opposed? All those in favour, raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 10. Second was Councillor Cutler. Okay, 10. 10.4 has been pulled out. Does anybody want to pull out anything else in item number 10? No. Okay, going on to 10.4. Councillor Chester, do you have a movement of are you moving the motion?
I'm happy to move that. Yes, and I do have a question.
Seconder, Councillor Cutler, seconding. Anyone opposed? No. Councillor Chester, question?
Yes, I think the report indicates that the CEO is happy to function between the 25 mil reserve and the 35 mil. And I guess the question to him is he happy to continue operating within that range of asset base to provide, and I quote him here, nimbleness and liquidity in his operations?
The simple answer to that is yes. If anything, the number could be smaller rather than larger.
Yeah, okay. And just to add to that, I had the pleasure at a council meeting just last Tuesday to announce that we were 70 million on the black side of the ledger, which meant that our city in particular was receiving 11.67 million this financial year and the same in the following financial year. And when you look at the two, the item on our agenda is usually one item where we're looking at regional councils, and all we hear from Mindara is increased gate fees, leachate, smells, and all the time, and we hardly ever get a mention, I might add. We flip right over the fact that that the CRC is a major money spender, certainly for our council and others as well. And we really do need to acknowledge that we've got a CEO running the show with an average of nearly 5 in terms of his performance. But that never gets announced. It just seems that the CRC, when it comes to debate within our council, is the poor cousin. Even though, we're the leader of the pack, it never gets any acknowledgement. I tried to correct that last Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Chester. Any further questions on 10.4? If not, I'll put that. All those in favour, raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. And the rest of item 10, we move on bulk. Do I have a mover of a recommendation? Move that on bulk. Councillor Berry moving. Councillor Anderson seconding. Anyone opposed? No. Raise your hand. All those in favour? Councillor Chester, are you in favour? Councillor Chester, are you in favour of moving them above? You are? Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. The mover was Councillor Cutler. Oh, no, Councillor Berry, and then second was Councillor Anderson. That's okay, I was trying to slow down. Okay, number 11, elected members' motions of which notice has been given, there is nil. Questions by members of which due notice has been given, there is nil. Urgent business approved by the chair, there is nil. General business, is there any general business?
Could I speak to that item, please?
Yes, Councillor Chester first.
Since the elections are coming up on Saturday, I may not get elected back on our council, let alone even reappointed to the CRC. So I just want to thank all of the elected body here that I've interacted with, always extremely courteous, cooperative, and the staff as well. A pleasure to be working with you all, and I wish you all the best for the future if you or I don't get elected. Thank you.
Councillor Cutler?
I would like to echo similar words. This is my last CRC meeting. I'm not standing for election this time, but the time I've spent, the 2 years on Catalina Regional Council and the 2 years as alternate before that, have been a high point in my local government experience. I like the collegiality, the commitment to the vision of Catalina and what we're trying to achieve, and the fact that all councillors are right behind the CEO and the team at all times. So thank you for making it such good fun and so productive. Like returning lots of money is great, but what's even more important is happy people moving into Catalina and establishing their lives. All the feedback that I've got from people I know that live there are super positive, despite the smells. And finally, if after this we could have a little photo of this council, particularly given the milestones and the achievement that Chris read out earlier, that would be great. So thank you.
And Deputy Mayor Migdal?
Thank you, Chair. And again, likewise, I'm also up for election, as several of us are this evening. I just want to say thank you so much to Chris, to Simon, to Vicky, and of course to Tony for having been chair and done a superb job. I don't believe we could have achieved higher and better outcomes over the last 2 years, and just so very proud of what's been achieved and so grateful to have had great guidance and an excellent group of people forming highest and best decisions. So congratulations, everybody, and thank you. Thanks for the experience.
Is there anybody else? Okay, well, I'll probably just say a couple of quick words then. Look, obviously, firstly, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for making this a wonderful experience for myself as chair, and for being so supportive and so professional in the way you've been dealing with the issues through Catalina, and obviously sharing your ideas, frustrations and opinions in terms of the development that's going on, and making sure that we live up to our environmental credentials when we built our 10-star home, and all of those sort of messages that we're sending to developers out there, that you can actually do a high-quality development and still, make a lot of money for yourself as a council, but also achieve great community outcomes. Obviously, to Chris, we've spoken a lot over the last 2 years, and we always come to a consensus decision on the way forward, and he's been really great in terms of sharing information and ideas with myself, so that I'm fully informed and able to discuss those with him, and obviously then bring them to the council for consideration, and obviously to Simon, Vicky and Sonia, who are the backbone of the organisation in terms of doing all of the important stuff behind the scenes to make sure that it operates really well. Thank you again to each and every one of you for the wonderful work you do, and thank you for staying on as part of Catalina, and for being there for all this time, and we look forward to hopefully working with you into the future if we're successful, both as councillors getting elected, but also back onto CR. community, and I get lots of good and positive feedback from most of you. The rest, I don't necessarily hear the feedback that far out from my circles, but I don't hear any negative feedback coming from anywhere. So thank you and congratulations for everything you've done. CEO, you want to say anything? I'll give you the chance to say a couple of words here.
Reiterate the comments. This has been fun. I've really enjoyed this couple of years working with you guys. We've achieved a hell of a lot. We get on well. There is healthy discussion and debate on matters, and it's been good fun. Good luck to those up for re-election. I do hope that most of you, not most of you, hope all of you win your election, and that we see your faces back here in December or November on Catalina as well. And thank you all for your support.
Thank you very much. And now we go to item number 15, which is a confidential item, but does anybody have any questions on that item? Because if we don't have to go behind closed doors. If there's no questions, does someone move the office recommendation? Councillor Cutler, second to Deputy Mayor Migdal. Anyone opposed? All those in favour, raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. We go to item number 16, the closure of the meeting, and I will close the meeting at 6:26 p.m.
And I've just got to say, I just noticed it's guys and girls. And